JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, names of Jamaican criminals overseas handed over to U.S. authorities. Several overseas-based Jamaican criminals are being closely monitored by U.S. law enforcement. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the names of these individuals have been handed over to the U.S. authorities. Holness said the intention is to use U.S. laws to capture those in that country who are influencing criminal activities in Jamaica. It is very important for criminals to understand that Jamaica does have very strong and well-respected political diplomatic links, and we have legal treaties and frameworks in which we can interdict and prosecute them in foreign jurisdictions. So that is the essence of the strategy, the Prime Minister said. Holness said intelligence was already being carried out on the individuals, so results of the effort should be realized very shortly. Farmer chopped to death in Manchester. Police are probing the chopping death of a farmer in Silent Hill near Cristiano in northeast Manchester on Wednesday night. The deceased has been identified as 71-year-old Patrick Lewis, otherwise called Bull, a resident of the area. A police report said that about 7:25 p.m., a passerby stumbled on Lewis's body in bushes on a roadway and alerted the police. The body had multiple chop wounds to the face. Statistics from the police show that up to December 27, Manchester recorded 55 murders since the start of the year, when compared to 33 for the corresponding period last year. St. James man killed a day after SOE announcement. Lawmen in St. James were early at the scene of a crime, where 8-year-old Lesmore Williams was shot and killed by an unknown assailant on Thursday afternoon. Williams, who was the manager of a car park in downtown Montego Bay, is said to have been attacked while on the property at approximately 2:30 p.m. The deceased man also operated a cook shop inside the car park. According to a well-placed police source, it was reported that the shooter made his escape on foot. Thursday afternoon's shooting death came a day after Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced that states of public emergency SOEs have been declared in 8 parishes across Jamaica, including St. James. 3-year-old killed as metal gate falls on him. A 3-year-old boy who attended a family wedding with his mother was killed on Tuesday morning when a metal gate in the family yard fell on him at Newmarket Oval in Savlamar, Westmoreland. The deceased boy, Liam Williams, is said to have wandered outside the yard when the ball with which he was playing went outside the gate. Reports are that he and another child were attempting to slide the gate so he could get back inside, but the gate reportedly came out of its socket and fell on him. His mother, Natalie Jones, said that she travelled from St. Catherine with her children as was part of the bridal party. Jones said that she blames herself because had she been home, her son would have been in her company. "I am blaming myself because if I was there, he would be right beside me, does not leave me. Him always there beside me," the distraught mother lamented. "Me just can't believe that my baby just gone so. Me don't know what kind of disaster struck, but the devil intervened and take out my child," the grieving mother added as she wept bitterly. Jones said she had to abandon her bridesmaid's duty following the death of her son. The mother said that she asked God to save her son moments before she saw him take his last breath. "I was praying the whole time at the hospital and I said, 'God, save my son,'" the mother recalled. Meanwhile, People's National Party councillor candidate for the Savlamar division, Julian Chang, extended condolences to the grieving family. "It is very sad that little Liam had to die so tragically. My heart goes out to his family, especially his parents. I want them to know that I support them in this difficult time," Chang said. St. James police seek help in identifying body of man suspected of drowning. The Amityville police are seeking the public's assistance in identifying the body of a man who is believed to have drowned at a river in Lottery District, St. James, on Wednesday, December 28. The body is of brown complexion, slim build, and is about 183 centimeters or 6 feet tall. According to reports, the body was seen floating in the river about 4:20 p.m. and the police were summoned. On arrival of lawmen, the body was retrieved, the scene processed, and it was removed to the morgue. There were no visible signs of foul play and no visible marks of violence. Anyone with information that may be able to assist the police in identifying the body is being asked to contact the Amityville police at 876-617-9758. Local footballer charged with assault and conspiracy. A local footballer is facing multiple charges after he allegedly stole a teammate's check and forced him to make false reports to the club's administration. Charged is 19-year-old Devontae Walker of Fairview Drive in Kingston. He has been charged with assault of common law, being in possession of a prohibited weapon, using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony, and conspiracy. Another player, 18-year-old David Edwards, was also taken into custody but has not been charged. Reports from the Olympic Gardens police are that about 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, December 8, another player at the Waterhouse Football Club received his monthly wages via check. The player reportedly placed the check in his pocket and left his belongings in the player's changing area. Upon his return, the check could not be found. After receiving the report, the police launched an investigation and Walker was named as a suspect. During the investigations, CCTV footage was unearthed and it reportedly showed a man believed to be Walker cashing the missing check at a wholesale about 15 minutes later. Walker is also accused of calling the complainant to a location in Kingston 11 where he allegedly held him at gunpoint and forced him to report to the club that the money had been returned. He also allegedly threatened him not to return to training. Walker has played in 4 of Waterhouse's 7 matches this season. Upon the conclusion of the investigations, detectives arrested Walker and charged him on Tuesday, December 27. A source has since reported that the entire Waterhouse community is reportedly tense because the victim and the accused are from different sections of the community, which are currently feuding, thus making the situation delicate. It is very delicate and there have been a lot of implications. All 3 players are from the community, so it is not healthy. You have to tread lightly, the source cautioned. Meanwhile, there are also the implications, as a wholesale where the check was cashed had an arrangement with the club to change players' checks, but that is now in jeopardy. They didn't have to go to the bank because he would change them, and he didn't ask the ID because the trust was there. Now that the police involved, he may say that he's done with it, the source said. 2 men shot and injured in Bull Bay. 2 men were shot and injured by gunmen during a drive-by shooting in 7 Miles, Bull Bay, St. Andrew on Thursday. The injured men, ages 58 and 37 years, have since been admitted to hospital. Their condition is not known. Information received is that about 6:45 a.m., both men were near Iron Shore Lane when a white Tida motor car drove up. The occupants of the Tida reportedly opened gunfire at them. It is reported that the 58-year-old man was shot in his left foot and hand, while the other man was shot in the hip. Up to this evening, the police were still probing the incident and could not give a motive for the shooting as yet. Cash and illegal gun discovered in Kingston abandoned building. An illegal gun along with ammunition was among items seized during a police military operation on Luke Lane in Kingston on Wednesday. Reports from the Kingston Central Police are that the team was conducting an operation in the area when an abandoned building was searched. According to the police, a Smith & Wesson 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 26 9mm cartridges, 9.40 cartridges, and over $100,000 were seized. No arrest was made in connection with the find. Investigations continue. American businessman charged for ganja found in cereal boxes at airport. An American businessman has been charged with breaches of the Dangerous Drug Act after compressed ganja was found in his luggage at the Sanctuary International Airport in St. James on Wednesday. Jermaine Hall Sutherland from Fort Worth, Texas, was on the island for a week before he was arrested by narcotics detectives. Sutherland, a police also reside in Dunvale, Trelawney, was charged with possession, dealing in, and importing ganja. A court date was not given for the accused man. It was reported that Sutherland arrived at the airport on American Airlines from Texas last Thursday. His luggage was delayed and he returned to the airport yesterday to collect them. The police said around 12:15 p.m. Sutherland's luggage was being searched at the customs department when it was found to contain 2 cereal boxes, each containing compressed ganja. He was taken into custody and, following further investigations, was subsequently charged. Kingston man charged in St. Anne robbery. A man has been charged with robbery with aggravation and possession of prohibited weapon after he allegedly held up a man in Ocho St. Anne on Tuesday, November 22, 2022. Charged is 45-year-old Steve Johnson, otherwise called Mikey, a mason of Seaview Gardens in Kingston 11. Reports from the Ocho police are that about 11:40 p.m., Johnson and another man allegedly held up the complainant and robbed him of 4,000 Jamaican dollars. The alleged robbers then reportedly escaped on foot in the area. On Thursday, December 22, the complainant was walking in the Ocho Town Centre when he spotted Johnson. He alerted the police and pointed out Johnson to them. Johnson was then arrested and later charged. More victims of illegal land sale in Bernard Lodge emerge. More than 2 months after investigations were launched into the illegal sale of lands near Clifton in Bernard Lodge, St. Catherine, more people have come forward claiming that they have been defrauded. About 10 illegal structures on the land were demolished in October. A day before the demolition, Prime Minister Andrew Holness told Parliament that gangsters had been selling the lands on a pretext of ownership or building on them. Speaking on Wednesday, Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Southern Fitzjackson, who has been in dialogue with Sugar Company of Jamaica Holdings, said the unauthorized purchases are beyond the notice number that was given. More people came than who they had notices for. In other words, there are persons who had lots that they never start build on that would have been affected. So that is another issue that they have not yet figured out or they are going to resolve, he explained. Jackson said he would have further discussions with the administrator of the lands, SCJ Holdings, next year. School principal Solin Ward-Brown, who was implicated in the alleged land fraud, was offered $2 million bail in October. Questionable transactions involving her have increased to almost $8 million. In sports news, Mount Pleasant takes Premier League lead. Mount Pleasant FA took the lead in the Jamaica Premier League on Wednesday after scoring a resounding 5-0 win over 10-man Mullines United at Vauxhall, with Travonte Stewart scoring a hat-trick against his former club. The win saw the Tapper Whitmore coach team move to 17 points after their fourth straight victory and past defending champions Arborview at the top of the table. Arborview were held to a 1-1 draw on Monday by Cavalier FC, are second with 15 points, 2 more than Cavalier FC, who were joined by Humble Lion, who won their third straight, clipping Tivoli Gardens 1-0. Montego Bay United, who drew back-to-back games 1-1, were held at home by promoted Chapelton Maroons, are in 5th place on 12 points, 1 more than Portmore United and Arnett Gardens on 11 points. Also on Wednesday, Portmore United came from a goal down to beat last place Falcon FC 3-1 in Montego Bay, while Dumbler Holding and Waterhouse played out 1-0 all draw. At Vauxhall, the home team ran roughshod over Mullines United, who ended the game with 10 players after Tyrese Winter was sent off for striking a Mount Pleasant FA player in the face in the 66th minute. Stewart gave Mount Pleasant the lead in the 27th minute from the penalty spot and added goals in the 64th and 90th minutes, the last one also from the spot, to complete his hat-trick. Umberland won their third straight game 1-0. Shamari Dallas netted in the 46th minute to hand Tivoli Gardens their third loss in their last 4 outings and move into the top 4. Portmore United won for the second time in 3 games and moved into the top 6 after coming from behind to beat Falkland 3-1. Osano Johnson gave the St. James club the lead in the 13th minute, his second goal of the season, but Rashawn Thompson leveled the scores in the 27th minute. Emilio Rousseau gave Portmore United the lead after 60 minutes, and Jevick McFarlane added a 4th goal in the 75th minute. In the second game at Westport Park, Montego Bay United were denied their first win in 3 games when Wayne Brown scored in the 89th minute for Chapelton Maroons as they earned a point. Courtney Allen had scored his first goal of the season 4 minutes earlier in the 85th minute. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.